project this week is the tinsel painting. And so there's two versions. There's the Ziploc bag version, which we did in the other demo. And then the official way to do this project is to actually do it on glass. So I went and got like a cheap photo frame, and I'm just gonna use the glass from that for this. I'm gonna set the rest of the frame to the side, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm also gonna do something a little different. This is tinsel painting, so you are supposed to use foil for this painting technique. I have you using aluminum foil for the project, but you can also buy these foil sheets at the craft store, and they come in like copper, silver, gold, and then there's one that's like gold and copper. It's kind of cool looking, like and it has a little bit of silver in it too. So if you wanted to do something a little bit fancier than aluminum foil, you could go get, like, this is just leaf metal. So it's like if you were doing gold leaf on something like a photo frame or furniture, you actually use this with you know, some special brushes and glue that attaches it to the surface. That's what I'm going to use instead of aluminum foil in this demo. Okay, so let me go ahead and get everything ready. And I'm going to tape my glass down. Once I have it lined up the way I want it, I'm just going to tape that down so that it doesn't slide around, because it's going to want to move around. Now, when I get to the last step, I'll eventually have to move the tape, because otherwise I'm going to end up with, you know, when I paint the background, it'll be transparent where the tape was. So I'll have to like lift the tape up in pieces so that I can completely cover the background. But for now, when I'm just painting my thing there, the only bad thing about using glass is you get to see all the lights going on. So you see my overhead light and the fan, you see the ring light, you see it all. Okay, so, and for this demo, I'm actually using acrylic paint instead of watercolor. Watercolor is not ideal for this technique because it just wipes off of the surface. So I'm actually using acrylic, but I'm putting a white acrylic base for all of my paint so that it really stands out against the black background. So that's kind of an important step in both techniques. You want to make sure you have that white base for all of your paint. And so this is just like cheap craft paint that you get on that the craft aisle. And these are just like little mini tubes of acrylic. So I had already sketched out my layout, and that's like the first step, is you just want to make sure on a piece of paper you kind of sketch out the layout of your floral arrangement, and then you can put that under your glass and then start painting. Okay, so I'm going to be using lots of like flower colors. So I'll probably mix some red and yellow to give me kind of an orange color. All right, so now we're ready to paint. Okay, so I'll put all these paints inside. Move my water. Okay, so like I said, first thing you're gonna do is lay down the things that are gonna be in the foreground. So with like my vase, I have like leaves that fall over the edge. Those things I'm gonna put down first because I'll paint the vase. It'll be like one of the last things I do. Centers of flowers, I'm gonna put those down first. Also in this technique, you want to leave some areas transparent so that the foil shines through when you're done. So I'm not going to cover everything completely solid in paint. So if you see there, I'm leaving some transparent areas. And that's because when I'm done, you'll get little like glints and glimmers of the foil. And again, like with these flowers, I'm just putting, you know, the things that are kind of going to be in the foreground, I'm putting those things down first. Okay. If you can, you want to use like flat brushes for like these flowers and stuff. But you can use other types of brushes for some of the other things. So I'm gonna have some of these like this greenery that kind of comes over the edge, like falls over the edge there. Okay, when everything dries, I'm going to use the black to cover the background. You'll want to leave the inside of your floral arrangement open. So you don't want to cover the whole back of it with the black, but you just want to fill in like around the floral arrangement and then even some of those little spaces inside, but you don't want to cover the whole thing because you won't be able to see the foil shine through. So just kind of watch here how I'm going over all of this in black, but then I'll leave the flowers and those pieces, untouched with the black paint. You want to make sure everything is dry, or else you will get smearing that will happen when the black paint comes in contact with other paint that's not wet, that's not dry yet. All right, so when this is dry, we flip it over, it's going to look something like this. Now you can see the light is coming through it in some places. So I don't know if you can kind of see that there. The light comes through in some of those places. So that's what we want because we're going to put our foil on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this foil out of the package. Now, if you're using aluminum foil, it's probably a little bit easier. You can just lay a sheet of aluminum foil on there. I'm using like gilding foil, like how you would, you want it to gild stuff. So it comes in like a package like this, and there's like sheets of foil. So just open it. So it's real thin. If you kind of see that, like it's like paper thin. So if you do use this, you need to be kind of careful with it. So I'm just gonna pick up a sheet. I'm going to carefully pull it down. Okay, So there are a couple of ways to do this method. You could just lay the foil down, and then when you were done laying the foil down, you would then just like, pop the glass back into the frame, and then you'd be good to go. I am going to take the paper that came with the frame, so it's just like that thing. And on the back side, I'm actually going to use, you can use glue, or you can use like some kind of an enamel or something. And I'm just going to paint this with some type of a glue material, and I'm going to lay that foil down on it. Okay, so if you were wanting to use this type of foil, you can see it's very, very lightweight. Like, it's very, because it's gold leaf basically. So you would actually put this on something with some glue. Okay, so I'm gonna move my glass to the side. Like that. Okay, and then I'm actually just gonna like lay down some glue. Actually, I could probably just use Elmer's glue. It'll dry faster than the enamel. So I'm just gonna like lay down some Elmer's glue. Okay, and then I'm gonna use a brush to spread it out. Quick cleaning job. And then I can clean up the front to get off some of the like dust and fingerprints and so forth. All right, so when you're done and you put your foil in, this is what happens. So those areas we left transparent, the gold actually shines through. The semi-transparent areas, it's shining through there too. And it's like, it's really pretty in person. The camera does not do it justice, but that's what happens. So anywhere that was left partially transparent, you get that kind of shimmer kind of happening. Let's turn some of these lights off. There you go. So you can kind of see it there, that shine going on. So that is, turn that one off. Might be a little bit easier to see. So that is a official tinsel painting with glass. So there's two methods. I did a tutorial for both. I've got the tutorial for the Ziploc bag one, and then this is using glass, and this is like the actual real method. So if you can find like a picture frame at like a thrift store that has glass in it, or go to like the dollar store or, you know, somewhere like that and get a cheap frame that has glass. You do want it to be like glass. Then you paint on the back side. When you're done, you can put in aluminum foil, or you could use like the gold leaf or silver or copper or something like that, like I used, and then put that in on the back side, and then you would be good to go. So if you enjoyed this, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this tutorial, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time on Art with Mrs. Cat. Bye.